Hello guys, and welcome to another Red Life Studio episode. Please subscribe and give me a like, and share my videos if you're enjoying them. Also, feel free to leave me a comment below. Now let's begin with today's stories.
I found out that my wife cheated on me 10 years ago. My wife and I are high school sweethearts. We have dated since then, and after 10 years we finally got married. We have now been married for 2.5 years. Yesterday she told me about sleeping with one of my friends in the first couple years of our relationship. Just out of high school, and we were not living together at the time. She says it was only 4 times with the same person in about a week's time frame. This was during a time where she said she felt neglected by me and that it is her greatest regret. Now another 6 or so years ago there was another incident. She has a terrible time making friends and honestly has not had any for a very long time. Like none. I am the only person she hangs out with. Like ever. I have tons of friends and do things with them, but she has 0. It really saddens me. She has terrible self-esteem issues and is socially awkward. There was a guy that she thought she was becoming friends with and he kissed her. She said she immediately felt regret and left. I found out about him when her phone got a text and I was next to it at the time. I confronted her and we argued, but ultimately I forgave her. She said that all that happened was the kiss and then she got out of there before anything else happened. She told him to not come around anymore and that nothing should have happened. This is also at a time she says she felt neglected. She is absolutely right. We were only having sex maybe once or twice a year and I was focused on my hobbies instead of her. I, being the moron that I am, did not see any of this coming. I thought we were fine, but I now know how stupid I was. Anyways, a month later the guy shows up at my place of work freaking out and wanting to talk to me. The managers throw me in the back of the store and kick the guy out. She gets scared and starts having security walk her to her car at night, and he even slashed my tires one night. Guy was a real psychopath. We moved to a different place soon after and she ignores all attempts at contact from him. He really scared her. We filed police reports and everything. Time goes on, but I was always suspicious that there may have been other things I didn't know about. What wouldn't be? I have asked a million times since the more recent incident if anything else ever happened. The answer was always a no. For the past 6 years it has always been a no. Yesterday, she finally came clean about the really early incidents. She came home and started writing and crying. I knew what was coming. She said she couldn't look at me and tell me, so she wrote her confession and left the room to sob some more. I read that she had cheated on me with a friend of mine and had kissed one other guy around the same time. I asked for the details of all the encounters and she told me. At least I think she told me and didn't leave anything out. My heart is broken. I have been lied to for the past 10 years by the person I trusted most. I have never felt so much pain. I can believe that she regrets her actions and that she is not the same person as she was just out of high school. I am sure as hell a different person now. And I guess that I can forgive the act itself as a stupid teenage girl making mistakes. I have made my mistakes too. Never infidelity, but mistakes nonetheless. How do I ever trust my wife again? I would have to be crazy to do such a thing, right? How can I ever believe that she is being completely honest with me ever again? She truly seems to regret her actions, and she did finally tell me, I guess. What should I do? Here's the main dilemma. I know most people's advice would be that there are other fish in the sea. That once a cheater, always a cheater. But I have a problem. I truly, deeply, unquestionably love my wife. Not attraction or familiarity, but true love. The way her mind works, the way she cares for me, the way we strive to make each other better people, everything. Her secret encounters and terrible self-esteem are literally the only blemishes. But these are big blemishes. She lied to me for so long. But at the same time, she could have kept lying and I never would have known. She did tell me, and I really hope that she did tell me everything. But there is no way for me to know. She says she didn't tell me because she thought that I would leave her. She says she wants to do whatever it takes to earn my trust back. She wants to go to a therapist for her issues. I had recommended this before, but I don't think she ever thought that I was being serious. I have tried to help her self-esteem, but it seems so deeply rooted that I don't know what it would take to fix. I don't know what to do. I love my wife and want her to be better and stronger. I am just tired of going through my life trying to be my best self, and then being the one who carries the most pain. TLDR, my wife made some mistakes early in our relationship and kept them from me until now. I feel betrayed, but I still love my wife very much, and I believe she loves me too. What should I do? Story 2. Found my wife cheating on me last night. Anyway, here goes. I met my wife in 2011. I was DJing a social event at school and playing some 90s rocks. I was playing Third Eye Blind and my wife liked the song that came on. She talked to me, we bonded over our mutual love of the band, yada yada, we started dating. Fast forward to 2013, we got engaged and we took a trip and to celebrate. We have this memory we talk about a lot of listening to the whole Third Eye Blind catalog and singing along to all the songs together. We got married that year. Fast forward through our whole marriage, we had this thing where we would try to see the band as much as we could. We saw them whenever they were on tour, a total of 9 times during our 9 years of marriage. Last night we were supposed to see them for the 10th time. If you're the math in your head, we've been married for 10 years as well. That's coming up in November, so I had this whole thing planned where we would go see the show, stay over at a hotel, have a romantic night. I get home from work on Friday, my wife is getting ready. She looks amazing. I see a text come on her phone. You know how the rest of the story goes, I don't even want to type it. She met some guy the night before when I was away for work. The part that killed me the most was she wrote that he needed to get condoms, and he's LOL. So I'm left wondering, did they even use any? What does it matter anymore anyway? After reading that, I just left the house and started for the concert. She calls me about 15 minutes later like, where are you? Oh, you know, just on the way to the show. What? Why? You know why. Think long and hard as to why I might be acting this way. I just hang up. Anyway, I think I was in shock still, I was pretty cool about it. But there's some backstory there I don't want to get into as to why I was prepared. She's cheated twice before in the past. I didn't really have any emotions at the time. Actually, when I started typing, this was the first time I felt anything. So she calls back and starts going through the motions. Oh, we are just friends. Oh, we didn't actually do it. Oh, I was drunk. Oh, it was just in a little bit. Then it was all come back and let's talk about this like adults, as if I'm the childish one for having stormed out. I'm thinking no. If that happens, I'm not seeing this show. We're just going to talk about how she cheated and she's going to try and seduce me. And that thought grossed me out. I never thought about sex with my wife and felt gross, but then I did. So I got to the concert and the guy scanned my ticket. He looks at me and says there's 2, indicating that he wanted to scan the other one. I just stared at him blankly and said yes. There's 2, and went inside. I was so weird, I felt like I was hypnotized. And then there was the show. Amazing show. I had a good time. I met some nice people in my row and we had a fun time enjoying the concert together. Some lyric hit a little differently. I've never been so alone. And I've never felt more alive. I felt pretty alive at the concert. I danced with the crowd and screamed my frustrations into the loudspeakers. No one could hear me over the loud rock music. It was over pretty early. I wanted to sit at the bar and drink, but that would have required talking to someone, and I just couldn't outside of the context of the concert. I was thinking about the texts again. So I went to the hotel I had booked for my wife and I, and went to sleep alone. I woke up to about 30 emails. She was up all night feeling all kinds of emotions, I guess. Guilt. Shame. Anger. Anger at me. Those were the most surreal, the ones where she was mad at me for going through her phone. A lot of bargaining and pleading. The worst was she had sent me cards I had written for her years before. Anniversary cards. Birthday cards. Christmas cards. I always handwrote a letter for her, professing my love for her. I never used to write anyone cards like these, but I did for her. She used to write cards like these for me. She hasn't in a number of years. I think her intent was that upon reading the cards, my heart would soften and I would realize how much I loved her. I would come to my senses and come to her, and we would talk it through, and I would forgive her, and it would all be better. But instead it just made me realize how much she doesn't love me. At this point, I can't forgive her. I forgave her once and here we are. If I forgive her again, it's just a matter of when, not if, I'm back in this same scenario, writing sob stories on Reddit. The only question now is whether I respect myself to make sure this never happens to me again. Thanks for watching Red Life Studio. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing for more inspiring content. Your support means a lot to us.